Hey, welcome to New Jump City, everybody, where we recap the week in American and Japanese sequential art. I am your host, Christian, the unbiased king. I didn't have the soundboard up. Here we go.
Rolling.
Espinal. And joining me through Discord, it is the man, the myth, the legend. It is Joshua. Gangsta Time Cole.
Well, it's called Partner, but it should be called Gangsta Time.
What up, Chris? What's good, everybody listening?
Hell yeah. Also joining us, it is our edgelord Big News, Brian.
What's up, nerds?
Hey. And yeah, like Josh said, it has been a while. Jump was off last week, but we are back this week. And bigger than ever, we have a bunch of series to talk about. Very excited to get into it, but let's not waste any time. Let's get into plugs. You can find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram. Joshua Cole, where can they find you?
At JD Cole _37. That's on Instagram, and at New Jump City Josh on X.
Yeah, I forgot.
But rarely.
Yeah. Brian?
You can find me at b.esp on both Instagram and Twitter. And you can find me at when I'm streaming at twitch.tv/itspunchline.
Ooh, yeah. You can follow the show itself at New Jump City on Instagram and X as well.
You guys gotta stop calling it that.
That's what it's called. Don't blame me.
It's so cringe.
That's what it's called. We didn't change the name. Follow the show itself on Instagram and X. Thank you very much. Or if you guys want to communicate us in other ways, you can email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk about. Hit us up on that. We answer questions on our pre-show chat show that we do. We record it before every show, but it comes out on the Wednesday of the week of the show. So hit us up on that. It'll be fun to chat about other things outside of manga, and sometimes we do talk manga. But, you know, in general, check us out on that and email your questions so we can answer them on that. If you prefer, you could also comment under our YouTube videos that we still put up every week. We still don't have video capability, which is totally fan because we're a fun podcast regardless. So hit us up on YouTube with some comments about what you guys think about the chapters, about the show, all that stuff. And if you prefer audio podcasts anyway, because that's essentially what we are right now, we're pretty much on every podcast platform there is. Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, blah, 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 blah. You get it. We're on it. Hit us up.
Guys.
What?
I'm sorry to interrupt. I just thought of a good name for our pre-chat podcast.
Oh, what? Do you not like
Flashback episode?
Flashback episode? It's not bad.
Tell me that would be sick.
That's not bad. All right. That's something. That's something to consider. But yeah, well, flashback episode, pre-show chat show, whatever you guys want to call it. Download that as well. It's a lot of fun. We really enjoy doing it. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into the show, guys. Let's fucking do this thing.
Bloody Cross.
One Piece. This is One Piece chapter 1090, Kizaru. And we open where we last left off with One Piece, where we are now returning to Egghead to catch up with the Straw Hats and what they've been doing. And it seems that since we last left them to explore the world of One Piece and all the things that's been going on with that, we see that Luffy and the Straw Hats have managed to subdue York, the traitorous satellite of Vegapunk, and are now holding her hostage as the Navy is approaching Egghead with a Buster Call-sized fleet. And they've revealed that they are, in fact, holding York hostage. We open this chapter with Luffy yelling at them proper.
Whoa.
What?
You're really just gonna glance over that, huh?
Well, am I gonna glass over? Did I miss something?
You're really going to disrespect the smartest man in the entire series like that?
Oh,
You're really gonna disrespect him like that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
We got
well,
the
I
man,
mean,
the myth, the legend, Captain Kuro as the cover page story, and you're just gonna ignore that?
That is true. He is there.
Are you
it
serious
wasn't
right now?
your interest wasn't piqued by this cover story, Chris?
It's not a cover story.
You know, I remember once upon a time you used to love these.
It's not a cover story.
Have you become jaded?
It's not a cover story.
I mean,
Have you
it's
become
not, but
jaded?
It's not a
it's
cover story.
Kuro, though.
It is Captain Kuro, which was funny to see. It's like, wow. This is
That's
How
actually,
he adjusts his glasses?
yeah. You know, it's so he won't scratch his face with his cat claws, which are 10 katanas mounted onto his fingers.
This is
Oh
the
my
first
God.
time we've seen him since Sear Village.
That's true.
And you're just gonna glance right over him like he's not the biggest fucking deal of all time.
Well, dude, if
He
it were
reminds me of the guy from Jujutsu Kaisen that got smoked.
Nanami,
Nanami?
Brothers. Yes.
Why did I know it was Nanami?
because he's the
Yeah,
only guy with
'cause-
glasses. Well, it's Maki,
Oh.
but
Oh. Damn. I've
Yeah.
been exposed. Well, anyway.
well, damn, dude.
Put some respect on his name next time.
I do
okay?
respect
Don't
Kuro.
let me catch you disrespecting him like that ever again.
I'm
or
sorry.
else-
You're right. Apologies
Alright.
to all the Captain
Alright.
Kuro
Yeah.
fans out there.
Yeah, and the Pussycat Pirates. Don't forget
And
about
the
them.
Pussycat Pirates. I'm sorry.
Pussycat Pirate?
The Pussycat Pirates.
All
Alright.
right, you can
Pretty
keep going. I'll let you.
Now, can I
live.
continue?
Let
If
you
I let me
Yeah,
know if
you
I
can.
step out of line again, Brian.
live. No, yeah, I got you. Don't worry. That's why I'm here. I'm keeping us in
Let
check.
me know again, Brian. I'm sorry. Sometimes I get out of line.
Yeah, Lord forbid that if Captain Axe, the Morgan shows up, and you skip over him. Like
I will.
that's-
Brian, I would never do that. Okay.
okay.
He has an axe for a hand.
All right.
I cannot forgive
that. I'm glad we put that. We got that out of the way now.
Yeah. Well, before I was corrected very justifiably, Luffy is yelling at the fleet to if they value York's life, they will move away from the shore. And all of the Navy officers are like, holy shit, he actually has airmen in there. And we see that even Big News Morgans is listening in along with Wapple and Vivi.
なんというビッグニュース
So that's cool. They're abreast of the situation, which is nice. The five elders actually start talking to Luffy, which is the first time they've ever spoken directly to him. And they ask, is like, who's still alive in there? And Luffy starts to answer honestly because this is Luffy's thing. And the rest of the Straw Hats like go like, Luffy, no! And then they hang up immediately. So, you know, they hang up and then Robin is lecturing Luffy. It's like, hey, information is a weapon. Don't hand enemies your weapons. And Luffy's like, sorry about that. But you know what? They're going to move now. And Usopp's like, no, they're not. What do you think this is? So
Like, how much do you really think they care about her?
yeah.
Come on.
So we cut to Jay Garcia, who's on a ship, of course, and he's talking about how like there are three things they must retain: York's safety, the Punk Records brain, and the power plant that creates the Mother Flame. Everything else is disposable. So, you know, the Vice Admiral that's down there with him is like, but Rob Lucci's group is in there, as well as the other Cypherpole agents. He's like, I speak of the worst case scenario, but you know, those are our priorities. And he turns over to the Vice Admiral. He's like, think of humans as nothing more than insects. They will always breed more to make up for any loss. And I think even this Vice Admiral is like, God damn. That's cold.
Yeah, this is surprising because this is the first time we've had a One Piece villain be this much of an asshole and not be fodder, you know?
Yeah.
Like only fodder talks like this, but we know this man isn't fodder.
Yeah. No, this man is one of the bosses of the world. Meanwhile, we cut back into Egghead as York is crying about how he's like, "You don't you realize what you've done? I made an agreement with the five elders. If you hurt me, this whole island will go up in smoke, just like O'Hara." And
That's tough.
yeah, and Nami just like bonks her on the head, you know, because no one brings up baby girl Robin's trauma and gets away with it.
Yeah. Thanks, Doc.
Yeah. And it's a nice little touching panel to see Robin like kind of smile, and given how much it means that how much it means to her that people care for her in this way. It's a very sweet moment. But yeah, we get these panel of a bunch of character acting. I do love like the little details about how much how much Oda is able to fit in one small panel. You have Luffy and Jewelry Bonnie eating their food. Usopp's working on some technology stuff. Chopper is like doing his whole like bashful thing. It's a sweet moment where all the Straw Hats are in the same room being different and stuff.
You gotta appreciate these moments when you can.
Yeah.
And Luffy in the back Lucci in the back chilling too. Rare.
Not just
Who
chilling.
would have thought?
He's like speaking out loud. He sees that we see that Lucci's saying like 4 seriously wounded, 2 Vegapunks dead, the Straw Hats are, and then Kaku's like, wait, what? Was that Lucci? He's like, talking to myself. And this comes up later, but we'll get to it when we get to it. So Usopp calls back down to the Labo Phase basement where the CP5 and onward agents that have been trapped in Egghead for God knows how long are finally eating food after seemingly being starved forever. And they're like, oh my God, thank you for the food. You're our saviors. Now you just got to let us out of here. And Usopp's like, can't do that. And he's like, can we at least get a change of scenery? It's kind of freaky with them just right over there. And we see that they're in the same room as the Seraphim, who are all captured in these bubble balls that are made out of the same material as the Pacifista's MK3's bubble shield. So there's sea energy incorporated into the material, making it a perfect weapon for trapping power users. So 4 of the Seraphim are stuck in there: the Kuma one, the Boa Hancock, the Hawkeye, and the Jinbei one. So they're like, wow, they captured all of them. And the Boa Hancock ones says that they can rest assured because they have not received any orders to kill them. Talking to the CP5, the Cypher Pole agents that are in there. Then Frankie cuts into the transmission and he says that he's grateful to S Snake, the Boa Hancock Seraphim, because she released them from the stone powers. And Vegapunk is like, strange, that shouldn't be part of her programming. And we see that the reason that she released everybody from the stone powers is because Luffy asked her to. And Boa Hancock's love for Luffy transcends the bloodline elements that course through her veins there.
LOL.
That's really fun. It's an interesting moment.
It's so adorable.
Yeah, it's an interesting moment too, because I think Vegapunk brings out an idea that like there's information that is transmitted through bloodline elements. So I wonder how that applies to the Jinbei one, because Jinbei is right there.
What do you mean by that?
Because if Boa Hancock can inherit, if the S Snake Seraphim can inherit the love for Luffy, I wonder how like the Jinbei Seraphim would react after a certain point. You know what I mean?
To what exactly?
To just being like to his relationship to Luffy and all that stuff. Would the Seraphim eventually like consider himself a part of the Straw Hat crew? Because
I don't know if it goes that far. I think it's like their quirks, like maybe Jinbei would be against like I was gonna say something stupid. I was gonna say maybe Jinbei, maybe S Shark would be against racism. Like
I mean, he would be. I would hope.
That's like his Seraphim quirk, where he's like,
I can't stand racists.
yeah, that's like his thing.
I mean, I would hope so. I would hope that would be his thing, if anything. But anyway, back to the chapter proper. So Luffy thanks the S Snake Seraphim. She's just embarrassed. She's like, "Eek! Did he just say he's in love with me?" It's very cute. Meanwhile, they're talking about how like the communication system has been restored, but the Frontier Dome won't open. And York reveals that there's an encryption code on it, and because her brain isn't synced to all of them, she won't give up the code. So only she knows the code, and she's not synced up to the brains of the other Vegapunks. So, there's no way to really get it out of her. I'm sorry. I forget her name. The vampire lady that turns out to be also a clone.
Stella. Oh no, not Stella.
Right, that's what I thought her name was, but I feel like this doesn't make sense.
Stussy.
You're right. Okay, there you go. Stussy, who is just like talking about how like they're completed, surrounded on all sides, and how much they're in trouble. So Vegapunk turns over to Nami and asks if asks about the log post situation, I imagine. And Nami explains how like the log post hasn't recorded the signal yet completely, but there is one needle that they can use to leave, from that they got from Wano. And she mentions that it's pointing northeast of here. And Vegapunk explains, oh, that'd be Elbaf then. And Luffy and Usopp are in the background going like, Elbaf! Finally! So that's pretty sick.
Yeah. Oda did that for all of us.
Yeah. Yeah, for real. He's like, don't worry, Elbaf is next. So yeah, Usopp and Luffy are celebrating about Elbaf. Lucci seems to be giving Stussy the side eye, and he's like, don't give me that look.
Bombastic side eye.
Bombastic side eye. So Vegapunk explains that the ship is currently at the Labo phase, but the Navy ship are waiting along every bit of coastline. So we can't leave via the port. But what we can do is that we can pull up to the Vega Force 1 and fly out of here, because the ship is right by the Vega Force 1. So we could just get on that giant robot, use it to blast off and get far away from the Navy ships, and then drop the ship into the water far away. Frankie also adds in that they can use the coupe de burst, and it basically allows them to fly 1 kilometer away from them. And Vegapunk was like, "Whoa, that ship can fly a whole kilometer? Let's do that." And Frankie's like, "It flies on cola." On cola.
Oh, he's impressing his hero.
Yeah, for real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, I love a good Frankie moment, to be honest. So yeah, so they still need to deactivate the frontier code, and York still refuses to give them the code. So all of the Vegapunks that are surviving right now are fucking hacking the code using their super cool genius. So Vegapunk commands Lilith to go to the Vega Force, and I guess Luffy and Jewelry Bonnie also go with her. I guess Frankie and Zoro are with them as well. And we cut back to the fleet where Jay Garcia is. He's talking to Kizaru right now. So they're like, "Did you hear that, Borsellino?" Because they just got the transmission from Rob Lucci. That's what he's been talking to himself about. He's just like relaying information to the fleet. I love how Kizaru's like, "I did. He talked a big game like he was in control, but it seems like they're actually trapped inside."
Yeah, he's not stupid.
Yeah. So Jay Garcia is like, "The Frontier Dome is a laser defense system, right? And you are light. Can you get inside?" And Kizaru's like, "Yeah, I can. But a good friend of mine..."
Frankly.
Quite frankly, I can. but a good friend of mine is defending Vegapunk below it, and Jay Garcia's like, so leap over him. He's like, that wouldn't be right. I mean, it's not a very sporting thing to do when a man is making a principled stand like that. I'd prefer to play this by the book. And he explains that you should know when we attack, it will mean countless sea beasts and weapons will be like the beasts that are under Sentomaru's command will start sinking ships in response. There's going to be a heavy cost to this. And Jay Garcia is like, well, I hate to do it, but it's got to be done. And Kizaru says, like, Rob Lucci is a very capable agent. He's sent all the information that I wanted to know. So,
Damn.
all of the Marines get ready for battle before Kizaru heads off into battle himself. We see that Luffy, Frankie, Bonnie and Lilith make it to the Sunny and the Vega Force 1. And Kizaru leaps into action using his sacred Yata mirror, and he lasers himself into the labo phase. No, this isn't the labo phase. The level below. I forget what it's called at this point. But he pulls up. Sentomaru gives the order to eliminate all hostiles, and Kizaru attacks Sentomaru, and the chapter ends with two final panels where Luffy senses that someone is here, someone strong. And yeah, that was One Piece chapter 1090. Josh, what were your thoughts?
This was I feel like a lot happened in this chapter, but all I could think of is the end. I'm not gonna hog up all the time talking about the possibility of Kizaru fighting against the Straw Hat and getting they licked back for what happened on Djibouti. But I'm gonna let y'all talk about that. I wanted to actually bring something up. So I think we can put to rest finally that it wasn't Jay Garcia nor Kizaru that was the shadowy figure taking out the camera.
Yeah, it seems that that's not the case.
Okay. We all okay with this? We all feel all right about that?
Yeah.
It's okay to be wrong sometimes. Don't worry.
It is okay to be wrong sometimes.
But
Probably
it's
wasn't
still not
Crocodile.
confirmed that it isn't him, though.
It is definitely confirmed that it wasn't if you look at the time.
Hey, I mean, you never know.
They weren't there yet.
Maybe he has like a shadow beast version of himself there.
If he has anything to do with time, maybe he went back in time and messed around. Sure, so maybe there's a possibility. But anything short of that,
Yeah, this is what One Piece needs: more time travel.
But yeah. What about you, Brian? What were your thoughts? Oh, before you get into it, I just want to make a few more comments. I've always thought, since I've seen all of the admirals before anything has even happened, so from the beginning to up until even right now, I've always thought that what's his last name? Barcelino?
Yeah, Barcelino.
Barcelino what?
No, that's his like actual name. Borsalino. Kizaru is his nickname.
Kizaru. Okay. Oh, what does Kizaru mean?
Yellow monkey, I think.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh shit. Yeah, man. I've always thought he was the most threatening.
Yeah, Akainu is Red Dog.
He's always been the most intimidating admiral, if you ask me. Even more so than Akainu. I still think that he's stronger than Akainu right now and just doesn't care to be in charge. I'm really hoping we learn a lot about this admiral. And, and he's more than just this antagonist. I hope there's something deep to his backstory. All right, Brian, go ahead.
So, I'm gonna get into my thoughts real quick, and then the streets have been talking about this chapter.
Ooh.
Oh, I All right. I'll wait.
So basically I like this chapter. It's not my RGC, but it was nice see uh to see the Straw Hats kind of, doing their thing, causing so much fucking mayhem. Even though they're like in control of the situation, they're still so fucking hectic to watch. It's nice to see Robin, because Robin didn't show up last chapter, so people were worried that she might have been in danger. Um, I really, I really enjoyed the part with Kizaru though, because this I feel like was the first time we got a little hint of what his justice, like his version of justice is, right? Because all the admirals have their own branded justice that Oda kind of sets up for them. And we don't know what we knew what everybody else's was, but we didn't know what Kizaru's is. And we still don't. And I'm really curious to see what this means for him, because it seems like he's not as, cold as you would think. Because before he just seemed like he just didn't give a fuck about anything. But it looks like he actually, has like connections with people and actually respects people a lot. So I just wonder, like, what is his character really? Like, I'm really curious. This chapter definitely made him a lot more interesting to me than I once thought. Because before he was just like really strong light man that doesn't give a fuck. But turns out there's a little bit more to him. Which obviously, I was expecting, but it's nice to see him do his thing. And now it's time for my segment.
Wait, I want to rebuttal real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
So as far as Kizaru goes, I think in that moment, I'm not surprised that he would think twice before setting shit off on his homie. You know what I mean? He's like, I got to pass for that dude, so I'm not. It's not like he's like, oh, I'm raring to go, and I don't give a fuck who it is I got to kill. But I still think like it means a lot that he brought up to Jay Garcia the death toll of them kind of like moving, proceeding quicker or whatever.
Yeah.
And he kind of brought it up more in a strategic sense, like, hey, like, that's what's going to be the case, right? And he said, yeah. I said, okay. He didn't really offer much resistance. So, it is ambiguous. It says a lot. I don't know, morality is for sure in question, but how it's in question matters to me. Like, is he's just always someone that's just followed orders because he's never really had a strong desire to actually like interfere in anything in the world, and maybe something will change that. Maybe something happened to him in the past that makes him be more lethargic towards the actual, plans of the government and what they do. I just say all that to say I agree, Brian. I think there's so much hidden depth behind this character, and I hope Oda gives it to us.
Yeah. If I can make my own rebuttal as well, there's like I think it's very fitting that Kizaru, if he was gonna get like a little bit deeper backstory stuff, it would come in this arc, because him and Sentomaru seem to be synonymous with like the science division of the Navy. They were the ones who introduced the pacifistas, and I don't know how literal this is and how much Sentomaru really means it, but he does call Kizaru his uncle. So
Yeah.
I think there is something to be said about how he's going to face his nephew, if that's at the very least the relationship they have, where they're kind of like a family to each other, and they both seem to have a somewhat close relationship to Vegapunk. So there might be we might actually get a bit of a little bit of a backstory in terms of Kizaru, which is great because all of the admirals are still kind of enigmas in a sense. Like, we don't really know much about anybody who's ever held the title. That's including Aokiji. So, yeah, I mirrored that sentiment with you guys. But Brian, you mentioned that the streets were talking.
The streets are
Yes.
talking. All right. So there's actually a lot of talk on the streets about this chapter. A lot of talk. So before I get into the crazy stuff, I want to start with the discourse over Luffy's "someone here's strong" moment, because a lot of
Mhm.
people are confused about Luffy's reaction. Because Luffy doesn't really show fear like this. People are like confused. Like, is he scared of an admiral? Like, is he?
No,
What the?
I think
so,
he's just
like,
noticed that someone, someone's hockey who's strong is on the island. I think it's more. I don't think he's scared. He is just like, holy shit, but I don't think he's scared. You know what I mean? When Fujitora was like on Dressrosa and he was like blocking their way, Luffy went out of his way to face an admiral because he knows that he's not going to be king of the pirates unless he beats them. So I don't think he's scared of Kizaru. I think he's
That's-
just
So,
straight up
my-
noticing someone's strong is just suddenly just popped up on the radar since Kizaru just like moves at the speed of light. So it's like, oh shit, someone strong's here all of a sudden.
instantly, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. I agree. I agree a lot with what you're saying, Chris. But I will also go ahead and say that I do think it is actually sort of a fear like response, if there can be one from Luffy, because he's usually not scared of anything except for like cartoonishly funny shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like with him and Usopp being scared of something. I don't know. I feel like that's happened. But anyway, I think there's something to say because the last time he had to run into Kizaru, if I remember correctly, he lost his entire crew.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you bring up about, there being a history with Kizaru and Setsumaru being part of the science division. I mean, it's all coming together, like what happened on Shibodi. All the same players are here. Shit, Kuma's there too. You know what I mean?
That's true. He is.
So
there as well.
there's I just feel like it's probably not the case that Luffy's like scared. It's probably more so like whoa, what the fuck? Because really, I was reminded this chapter that, oh yeah, Kizaru was such a big deal because of his fruit power. Like, I feel like we've gotten to a point where fruit powers are kind of just like, whatever. It's all about, have you awakened your power, and like, what type of hockey do you use? You know what I'm saying? Where
Mhm.
straight up light power is fucking insane. And the fact that he can move at the speed of light, right? I think,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right, only in one direction, sure, but still, like, that's
Is he
crazy.
a Logia? He's a Logia, right?
He is a Logia. Yes.
Absolutely.
It's so nice
Absolutely.
to see a fucking Logia type fruit, because God, man, I'm so like I mentioned it before. I'm so sick of Zoans. Like I really want to see more Paramecias and Logias. It's so cool to see them kind of back into the series again.
Yeah. Yeah. What else
but
is the
the-
street saying?
But the streets aren't done talking, man.
Oh,
All right, so here's a little question. Let me know if you can answer it. Which Blackbeard pirates are unaccounted for?
oh, the wrestler.
No,
No,
Jesus
he's
Burgess
accounted
was with him at Law.
He was in the island.
He was with
Mhm.
Law.
What do you mean he was with
Yeah,
Law?
he's
Like he was
accounted
in the
for.
battle
Oh,
with
with
Law.
Law and Blackbeard.
Mhm.
Yeah. And the sniper guy was there.
Okay. Katarina, San Juan Wolf. Not Katarina. Katarina's not there. But
Shiryu was there.
yeah, Avalo Pizarro, Shiryu, San Juan Wolf. Those three are on Blackbeard's Island on Full Lead.
Uh-huh.
So it's like three people there. There's Doc Q, Blackbeard, Jesus Burgess. They're with Law. So that
Uh-huh.
leaves what? Katarina and Lafitte?
Mm-hmm.
So they're
I
probably
don't know
going to
who the
Egghead.
hell-
Interesting that you bring up Katarina Devon. interesting that you say that, because there is a possibility that she is on Egghead right now.
That is
And
a
we've
possibility.
probably already seen her. The theories have run rampant.
Oh, because of Lucci looking at her.
No,
No,
because
Stussy is a
she
cyborg.
can transform into other people.
Right. And Lucci was like, "Is she?" Because she said, "Well, don't look at me like that. It's not like
No,
that." Is that what
Stussy
people think?
Stussy is like a cyborg created by Vegapunk.
Right. But
So
no.
the theory
Okay.
is that Katarina Devon is posing as Bonnie.
Hmm.
And you
Oh,
want to know
because
why they say that?
what?
Turn to page 12, the bottom right 2 panels.
When Luffy asked her, "You seem more cheery,
Yeah.
and you don't want to kill." Well, can I explain why I think that was the case?
Sure, go ahead.
She had that moment where she bonded with Kuma and learned a lot about his history. We didn't see it yet. We didn't see the whole thing yet.
Uh-huh.
So I think she's came to an understanding and knows that Vegapunk isn't the enemy.
Also, I don't know how easily Katarina would have gotten past the Labo phase, the laser defense system. Like if that
I mean-
was if Katarina is Bonnie, then she would have had to have been Bonnie the entire time.
No, I don't think so, because the Blackbeard pirate ship was showing arriving at Egghead.
Uh-huh.
Was
So,
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
There
Really?
was there was a Blackbeard pirate flag.
It was a really
arriving
small
at
panel,
Egghead.
but yes, there was a Blackbeard ship arriving at Egghead.
There is a chance
Holy
that
shit.
she could have transformed into somebody that could get past those defenses.
Yeah, but Bonnie can't get past him. She was only up there because Vegapunk allowed her to come up there with Luffy.
Yeah, so maybe she posed as Bonnie to get in, and then took out the real Bonnie.
Well, Bonnie was with them since like
No,
they
but she
ascended on
separated
Egghead.
when she went to the Kuma thing.
Yeah, but then like what was Katarina doing with Kuma's thing?
She probably just like went through there and then stumbled upon Bonnie there and took advantage of her while she was in a very emotional state and knocked her out or something, or captured her, and then went to be a mole for the straw in the Straw Hats.
I DK about that one, fam.
It's a little bit of a stretch, in my
The-
opinion.
Hey, I mean,
But
that's the
it's
streets.
interesting.
The
I mean,
streets are
Lafitte could
stretching.
also. I think Lafitte is more likely to be here because
What does he
Lafitte can
do?
get through anything. Like he snuck into Mary Joie like without getting noticed as well. So I think if there's anybody who can get past all of Egghead's defenses
I'm gonna go
without
look that up.
raising the
Lafitte?
alarm, it's him. Yeah.
Lafitte has the ability to. Well, he seems to be able to sneak around and get onto things, but I think like they are like they have made it a big deal that like nobody can get in or out once the Labo face shield is up.
Yeah, but Lafitte can get past it.
No, Lafitte, the guy that looks like a mime.
Lafitte is
Yeah.
different. I'm telling you, he is different. If he could
Yeah.
get into Mary Joie and get past literally everybody without anybody noticing, I'd say that man.
Oh, he's the navigator of the Blackbeard Pirates. That's pretty sick.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'd say if he can get past, if he can get into Mary Joie without getting noticed, he can get into Egghead without getting noticed.
I don't know about that, fam. Especially since the Blackbeard Pirates didn't pull up until the commotion was well underway.
I'm pretty sure Lafitte snuck up on the fucking elders on the Gorosei. You're
Yeah,
gonna tell me he can't sneak into Egghead?
I think so, bro.
He snuck up on the Gorosei.
Okay, everybody can do that.
No, they can't. No, you want to know why? Because they never showed that happening ever again. for the rest of the series.
Man, I don't know. I'm not
They
convinced.
never showed anybody having that kind of like that feat of stealth and ever again.
I'm more than welcome to be wrong, but I don't know about that one, fam.
I don't know. Those are the only
timeline
two
doesn't match
people
up with
who
me.
could be at Egghead right now for the Blackbeard Pirates.
No, I think that's true. But I don't know if they're on Egghead or at least in the Labo phase by now. I feel like they're going to be waiting for the Straw Hats once they leave Egghead. I think they're just like waiting outside right now. Like the Marines are.
Maybe, but the streets say otherwise.
Well, the streets are wrong a lot. So take that, streets.
That's the end of the streets are talking. The streets have stopped talking now.
This has been The Streets Are Talking with Brian Espinal. All right, I guess I'll get into my quick thoughts. I don't know. I thought this was a lot of fun to see, how they all... Because last we left the Straw Hats, they were actually kind of in trouble. Like, Shaka had literally just died. And York was revealed to be the villain. They seem to have, like, caught up with her lickety-split, so... That was kind of funny.
Shaka's dead. That's really sad.
It's very sad. One of the guys from Daft Punk. That's what he was designed after. But yeah, this was all cool to see. I don't know if I want to give it my really good chapter of the week, but my heart, I guess, is beckoning to another. So close but no cigar on One Piece, but very good chapter overall. I'm excited to find out what happens next in 2 weeks. Oda. I know we just went on a whole spiel about how artists should take care of themselves, but not you, Oda.
Well, the people who listen to this podcast episode don't know about it. Watch the flashback episode, guys.
Yeah, watch the flashback episode.
Know the context to what Christian just said.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to rename a bunch of episodes now, I guess. But yeah, One Piece was great. I guess we've run the gambit on that. You guys ready to move on? Any final thoughts?
Years.
All right, let's move on. My Hero Academia.
Oh, by the way, Lafitte has like mind control powers.
Does
You
he?
hypnotize people.
Wait, does he really? So he's
Yep.
Django?
He's not Django.
He's Django.
No, Django is Django.
No, Django. They're the same person.
They're not the same person.
I don't know the reference.
Django.
You don't remember Django?
Django is one of Captain Kuro's men, the Michael Jackson looking one that joined the Navy.
Oh, now you remember Captain Kuro, huh?
I do. I never said I forgot. You guys put that on me.
Sure seems like you forgot about him.
I didn't forget about him. It just wasn't a cover story. So, what do you want from me, Brian? I remember more about One Piece than you do.
Make this a competition. Because we will all
I'll do a
lose to Chris.
competition.
What's Captain Kuro's birthday then, Chris? Huh?
I don't know his birthdays. I don't memorize that much, but don't tempt me. I'll fucking make an effort.
November 7th.
I'll make an effort to memorize everybody's birthday.
I'm kidding. I don't know his birthday.
Anyway, so this is My Hero Academia chapter 397, Trash Cleanup.
It's 7 pages long.
It is exactly, yes, it is 8 pages long, actually, Josh. So, get it right, bro.
Actually, I've seen 6, but okay.
I'm seeing 8 right now.
7.
I'm seeing 8.
You count that blank. Anyway, whatever.
No, it doesn't count the blank page.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it's just 7, man.
It says 8 here. Whatever, it doesn't matter. This is My Hero Academia chapter 397. Last we left off, All Might and All For One started their epic battle. All Might's in a cool mech suit, and yeah, he's putting up a bit of a fight. He's tempted. All for One into a battle because All for One just can't help himself because he's got to take down All Might. And we open up this chapter with All Might yelling about how this feels wrong. Here I am at the age of 50, beating the tar out of a helpless lad.
Yeah, I actually really like that line. I thought he was gonna say something else, like I feel bad how easy this is, but that was basically him saying it in another way.
Yeah. But anyway, he's fighting All for One, and he's talking about how like you harbor such rage in you that hungers for one for all. That's what I'm exploiting, and it's the only reason this fight is even possible because you're such a thirst bucket, All for One. So yeah, all my strategy is to keep him into this obsessive delirium so you won't even be able to tear your eyes from me. So, but then All for One uses an assortment of quirks: Springify, Brawn Boost, Air Cannon, Rivet Stab, and Dark Ball and Impure Beam to all fire again.
OG.
Yeah, to just fire against All Might all at once. All Might gets knocked through several buildings, and it turns out that he was able to survive it because he has Auto Guard Dark Shadow quirk thing in his mech suit, which was kind of cool. But the cape has been destroyed, and it's he's running out of shields, I imagine. All for One floats over to him, and he's like, "This allows you to fight? You're sorely mistaken. You pathetic, washed-up piece of garbage." And I'm like, God damn. He said, "You're wearing this trash bag and have lost off perspective." Well, he said, "Your gadgets are gone, and once I break them, because those toys can't go beyond their limits." But All Might is like, "Great minds think alike, pal of mine." And we get this page that's like a flashback of Nana Shimura looking over to All Might in his youth, saying, "Really, kid? Was that pipe gonna lead you to victory?" And yeah, the chapter ends with All Might lunging towards All for One and punching him with his metal arm, but it doesn't seem to work. And he's like, "No, obviously I didn't fall for your cheap ploy to stall me. I can easily spare the time to clean up trash by the roadside." And he, I guess, blasts off All Might, and the chapter ends with All Might being like, "Desperate to play cool, huh? How undignified." And that's it. It kind of ends seemingly in the middle of a chapter.
Yeah.
But yeah, Josh, what did you think about My Hero Academia chapter 397?
Well, I thought it was pretty short.
It's a astute observation.
One of his moves is called Impure Beam, and there's a part of me that wishes that he would just maybe use that move by itself a few times. That could have easily made this the RGC of the week for me, but unfortunately, he had to mix it because he's being the ultimate thirst.
Yeah, he can't help himself.
All of that just to not even kill this guy. Like, you're getting beat by Iron Man, bro.
For real.
Fucking Gundam. But anyway, as short as this chapter was, there was some really nice pages. But he said that he was washed up and pathetic. The way he looked down on him with all his tendrils pointing out. Yeah, that's so crazy. Yeah, it says 8 for you. That's wild. I don't know why. Weird. Maybe if I hold my phone sideways. I'm talking about the page count in that debate. Yeah, it says 8 pages. When I turn it sideways too, that's crazy. Well, anyway, yeah, like when he's looking down on him, kind of like a cat looks down on you,
Yeah.
and that shot, him looking up at the previous one for all on the cool stuff. Anyway, how'd you like the shot to Brian?
It was pretty cool. The art was fucking. What was fucking? The art was fucking.
All
It
right.
was nice to see All Might talking shit for once in this scenario. Like all One for All has been fucking sitting down talking so much shit like it was a fucking MW2 lobby. It was he was talking so much shit, and now he's the one who's getting bullied by All Might, which is a really nice reversal on the whole on their relationship. Because usually it's One for All who's trying to get in people's heads, but this time around he's, I guess, with um you know, like the time being of the essence for him, he's kind of running out of time, but also he's, a little pissed off that All Might is even trying to fight him right now. So there's a lot of factors that are allowing him to be kind of emotionally volatile and able to be like what's the word? Um he's like really susceptible to being um shit talked. So it's really cool to see All Might kind of employing um his own set of skills outside of his quirk to kind of, you know, get under his skin. Because if there's anybody who can get under One for All skin, it's All Might, because they've been at it for so long. And he's the only one who's ever, stood a chance against him in his prime. So this was a pretty sweet chapter. It was short but sweet, I'd say. It was a pretty decent chapter. But that's all. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I agree with you, Brian. I think like that's the biggest swerve out of this chapter is that All Might for once is like playing the mind games that All for One usually plays, which is a fun read. I'm wondering if this is the point where we're going to start to get into All Might's actual origin story, because we still haven't gotten that. So I'm wondering if they're waiting, if they're going to use this moment as an opening to
That would be
kind of get
awesome.
into it.
Just for him to die immediately after.
Yeah, for him to die immediately after, yeah. We don't need you anymore, All Might, now that we know everything about you.
Yes, now you are fighter.
Now you may go. But yeah, overall, fun chapter. It really wasn't a whole lot to go on. It feels like half a chapter that just wasn't finished, I guess. Which, no shade at all. It'd be that way sometimes. But yeah, I think all has been said about it. I didn't dislike it at all, but it was good. I wish it was longer. That was my only thing.
Same.
But yeah, are we good to move on then? That was My Hero Academia.
Oh, one more thing.
Oh yeah.
I think when All Might dies and his vestige goes into Deku, I think he's gonna be like the Jarvis of All for One. I mean, One for All.
Mm.
Yeah, that's what I think. Like he doesn't bring like a power. He just like he's like an AI inside of Deku's brain. He's like, you're running low on energy, Deku.
Yeah. I feel like he's got 8 of those already. Like I think all of the All for One users are kind of like that.
Yeah, no, but his superpower is that he's the best at it because he's motivational.
Mm-hmm. His quirk is Jarvis.
He's like a built-in David Goggins,
Who's that?
motivational speaker.
Oh. All
But
right.
yeah.
Hell yeah. Ready to move on, boys?
You're
Then let's go. Jujutsu Kaisen. This is Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 232, Inhuman Makyo Shinjuku Showdown Part 10. Last we left off with Jujutsu Kaisen, Gojo is still going up against Sukuna, and he is now staving off the adaptation that comes with the Maharaga summon that allows any user to kind of adapt to any curse technique after a certain amount of time. It was revealed that at the end of the last chapter that there will be 4 more spins of the wheel to go before Gojo or before Maharaga has fully adapted to Gojo's technique, and Gojo's just trying to finish it off before then. So we're starting off with that. The chapter starts with it seems that Gojo has delivered a blow onto Sukuna. The wheel turns, implying a second spin. So there's 2 more spins to go. But Gojo doesn't look all that worried about it. He keeps using his technique to try to catch Sukuna slipping, but Sukuna is able to dodge a bunch of times. But eventually he does get caught by Gojo, causing the spin to the wheel to spin a third time. So there's only 1 time left until the wheel spins and Maharaga is fully adapted. Itadori asks, "What is time? What's necessary for adapting or experience?" And they're asking whether does he adapt by taking time to analyze an attack after getting hit once, or does he adapt after getting hit by the same attack multiple times? So they don't really know, but all they can say is that both are possible. Gojo, back to the fight, Gojo is just like, I gotta pile it on now. Then he'll think I'm only gonna use Azure. The timing will stop him from adapting to this. So he uses curse technique reversal red. And that's when the wheel turns black, which implies that I think it's not gonna adapt in this turn, so that Sukuna can use his, I guess, amplification. So Sukuna uses his own curse technique to like kind of shield himself from the damage of red. So he doesn't need to fully neutralize it, but he was able to stave off a lot of the damage. So it's funny because like Sukuna then goes like, "You're sloppy. Are you panicking because I saw through you?" And Gojo's like, "Actually, red hasn't exploded yet." And then blam, behind Sukuna, the red technique explodes behind him, saying that Sukuna realizes that he used the structure of the building to have red swing around before striking him. And Sukuna takes this opportunity to get in close and use a black flash on Sukuna, which seems to knock him the fuck out. And the wheel falls down to the ground, but then it turns one more time. And the shadow of Maharaga arrives, grabs Gojo, and seems to cut him in the shoulder. And I guess now the battle's going to shift to Gojo versus Maharaga. Shit is crazy, but that's where the chapter ends, by the way.
Oh, unfair.
Yeah, it's wild. But Josh, what did you think about Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 232? Josh? He must have stepped away or something. Brian, what did you think?
So, this was my RGC.
Oh, same. Honestly, it was also mine. I don't know if Josh is back yet, but I'll withhold the RGC till he gets back.
So I really thought it was interesting the way he used his red there. I didn't know he could even use it like that. But what I really love is that Black Flash was used in this chapter, because it has been so long since Black Flash was used in this series. And I almost completely forgot about it. I completely forgot that someone like Gojo could be capable of it. What's the multiplier on Black Flash? Like, do you know? Is it like 10 times stronger? Like that attack is 10 times stronger or something?
Oh man, I don't remember the exact. It's just like a super duper strong punch that not many people can do, especially multiple times in a row. But it's a tough one out there. Let me see.
So, like, I bet you, like, so Yuji's Black Flash is pretty strong, right? but I'm pretty sure Gojo's Black Flash would be like 20 times, like not even 20 times, like 100 times stronger than Yuji's Black Flash. Black Flash, just because of like who's punching, you know? Like Gojo's punches are no joke. They do a lot of fucking damage, and if a Black Flash is applied to them, I think we underestimate just how much fucking damage that could do to somebody. Like Sukuna is out for a reason. That Black Flash is unlike any Black Flash we've seen in the series so far. Like that's a next level attack that will take down anybody. Um, and if he were to hit Sukuna with that, maybe at the beginning of this fight, this would be a completely different fight. Like it is, I'm pretty sure that has a lot more impact than this chapter leads on, and I think that's like I like the way it was executed, but I feel like it could have been like a little more flair to it. Um, but either way, this was a pretty fucking sick chapter. At the end of every chapter, I find myself sitting here like, how the fuck is Gojo gonna do this? And he somehow finds a way to to keep the fight fair and stuff. But I genuinely, well, depending on what Maharaga adapted to, he might have a chance. But I just I just don't know how he gets through this if Maharaga completely adapted to his shit. Like again, you know, we just kind of got to sit here and hope that he has something new in his arsenal that he could pop out to finish off Maharaga in one blow. But I just don't see this ending well for Gojo at all, and it's really sad. Because I'm pretty sure once he's done with Maharaga, fucking Sukuna's gonna wake up and like stab him in the back or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but just as a reminder, Black Flash is a distortion of space that occurs when cursed energy is applied within 0.000001 seconds of a physical hit. When a sorcerer is able to achieve this, their cursed energy flashes back, and the destructive power of their strike is equal to a normal hit to the power of 2.5. So it is however strong you are time to 2.5 power. So I guess it does depend on the person's initial strength. So it depends on how strong Gojo is just as a person.
Yeah, they mentioned, remember they had that conversation when they were like, has anybody ever gotten hit by Gojo like at his strongest?
Yeah. No, I know that Gojo will probably be able to pull it off at a higher level. But there's also there's also another factor to it, where they say that let me see, regardless of how you got it the first time, because the hard part of Black Flash is being able to use it in the first place, because not even Gojo can use it easily. So regardless of how you got it right the first time, whether it was skill or simply luck, causes the user to enter a state where manipulating your cursed energy becomes something as simple and natural as breathing, generating a feeling of omnipotence as if everything revolves around you. This leads to a greatly increased performance in combat, allowing the user to operate at 120% of their maximum potential. So it's not just what Black Flash does in the offset here, but after you use it, you receive like some kind of crazy fucking power up.
Oh, so now Gojo is like juiced up for Maharaga? Is that what's happening? Oh, that's such good timing.
Yeah.
But
I think that's why he wasn't really worried, because his plan was to use Black Flash so that he could get the power boost from Black Flash to take on Maharaga, while also taking out Sukuna for at least
so does
a
that
bit of
mean
time.
does that mean he can activate his domain again or no?
We'll have to see. I actually don't know. Because it's about.
I did not know that Black Flash gave you a boost.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was just like a hit thing.
Yeah, it's a hit thing, but it also, like, you're in the zone, basically, because so much of Black Flash is is dependent on like chance, because nobody does it at will. Like not even Gojo can do it just cause. You have to just like let it rip and hope it works.
So, all right. So if you do multiple black flashes, that gives you multiple boosts.
It could be. I think that's the logic there.
So that really just makes what Nanami did like just that much more impressive.
Yeah, I mean, even Itadori, because Itadori was able to do it a couple times in one day.
Didn't Nanami do it like 4 times in a row? Like he has the record for the most black flashes, right?
No, he just has he has a personal record that he remembers. Like the amount that he was able to do in a day was like 4, but it's not like an overall record.
On, I want to double check that record.
I remember that one.
For
Nanami has mentioned that his personal record is 4.
He had 4 consecutive black flashes.
Yeah.
Man, that's sick. I mean, I completely forgot about this.
Yeah, it's good to
I miss
reread
Black
Jujutsu.
Flash.
It's good to reread Jujutsu or watch it if you're watching it, but because there's a
Man.
lot of data you gotta.
It was so sick to
Maintain.
see Gojo do it too. It was so fucking awesome.
Yeah, I think it's the first time we've really seen Gojo do it.
Yeah, he hasn't really needed to.
Yeah.
For the most part, he was strong enough without it to really need it.
Yeah. Josh, are you back? He is not back.
So, what are your thoughts?
I mean, obviously, I love this chapter. Also, this is also my really good chapter of the week. So yeah, there was a lot of cool action. I love how even though Gojo has had like the tables turned on him a couple times, he keeps like a cool head, and it's always interesting. I'm really hoping he does not lose. You know, he doesn't have to win and be involved in the last battle, but I think it would be just so cool if he just won, and so different, you know, because nobody ever does that kind of thing.
Yeah, where the sensei actually wins the
Wins
fight.
and survives to the end. It'd be nice.
I think I said it like last episode or last pod that I think it's plausible that Gojo, like alive or dead, it's possible for him to not be around for the last fight. Whether he dies or lives, just because of how much this fight alone is going to take out of him. So regardless, Gojo could take a backseat, uh, live or die, but it would be awesome to have him survive and kind of like cement himself as the strongest. Plus, it's just a really cool fucking storyline. I just fucking love the way Gojo is presented in his story. And it's really unique for a shonen manga to, you know, have a character be this powerful and have this much presence, you know? Like aside from like just somebody who's supposed to teach the students, you know? Like Kakashi wasn't like this. Um and I really appreciate Gege kind of, you know, spicing it up and making things, you know, feel fresh in a pretty like trope heavy kind of genre of entertainment. Um but that's not to say that, you know, the tropes aren't enjoyable. It's just nice to see a different take on things. So him surviving would be like pretty a pretty sick change to how things are normally handled.
Yeah, would you say it would be a pretty PogChamp?
It would be pretty pog champ, I gotta say. Very poggers.
Quite poggers. All right, hell
Has
yeah.
Josh returned from the
I don't know
void?
where Josh went. I don't know where he went. Well, I guess we'll get his thoughts when he comes back. But for now, I'm gonna give us a really good chapter of the week drop.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
Fantabulous chapter all around.
What was the audience?
Well, the audience has not been revealed yet,
Ah,
but yeah, we got a lot more to cover. So I guess we should move onward.
on.
Oh, Josh.
I heard something.
I did hear something. I heard something rustling about.
Joshua Cole.
What the hell's going on?
That's just a theory. A game theory.
Oh, he's gone. Well, anyway. Chainsaw Man?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
Ah.
Josh?
Yes.
Yo!
Hey,
he's back.
you missed all of Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, I sure fucking did, guys.
You
What are
want to give your
on
thoughts?
Jujutsu Kaisen, though?
Oh my god, did y'all talk about how you guys almost thought he fucking died at the end?
That's not what I
Sukuna?
thought.
Sukuna or Gojo?
Huh?
Sukuna or Gojo?
Gojo.
Oh, when he got
Okay.
slashed by Maharaga?
Yeah. Okay. All right. I don't think he's gonna die next week, but I do think that it is inevitable at this fucking point. There's no way. Like we've been learning too much about Gojo and his abilities and shit. Like he's being tested far too much for him to be this mysterious, cool sensei guy after this. That's like a thought I had. The deeper I started getting into this chapter, and then Maharaga coming out. Like I said, I don't think this is like the kill and blow or nothing like that, but I don't think it's like a game anymore, or like I don't think that it's oh haha you're gonna Gojo's gonna get smoked. No, this is it. That's how I feel. And this was my favorite chapter of the week.
Oh,
Yo!
so it's a unified.
Unified!
This is actually a unified, really good chapter of the week.
Yes.
RGC. Unified RGC. Unified RGC.
Hell yeah,
Yes, I'm glad you guys feel the same.
we agree.
But I also thought it was super fucking cool that he used Black Flash. I feel like I haven't seen that move in over a year.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's been longer. It's been longer since we've seen Black Flash.
Is Itadori the main character anymore?
Kinda.
Yeah. Well, kinda.
I would say so.
The series has always been like a share between Megumi, Gojo, and Yuji. So I'd say yeah, he still is. It's like a more tame version of Hunter x Hunter where like other characters are able to take the spotlight for a while sometimes.
That's fair. I guess. I don't know. Just seeing him use Black Flash made me remember, like, oh yeah, remember Itadori was growing and getting stronger and all of that, and then it didn't matter anymore.
Well, Black Flash, not a lot of people. Everybody in the series could use it in theory, but nobody uses it because it's very undependent. It's like not a dependable attack because it's very hard to pull off in one go.
Wow. Well, I mean, I thought it was cool.
It is cool.
I thought you were cool.
I
Unfortunate
also
for
think you're cool.
I thought you were cool as hell.
But anyway, are we good to move on then?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Alrighty, let's go for real this time.
Fi meg pick ned i det car med mig som jag kan chat.
Chainsaw Man.
Oh yeah.
This is Chainsaw Man, chapter 139, A Chair's Feelings. Last we left off, we haven't talked about Chainsaw Man in a minute, but last we left off with Chainsaw Man, Denji was met face to face with the Sword Devil or the Katana Devil.
Or so he says.
So he says he is. The reincarnation of the Sword Devil, who has approached him and is like, when you fought Makima, there was a pretty strong sword wielder that should have been there. That's right. That was me. Denji's like, oh, well, nope. Long story, but I'm not the one who fought that battle.
Nah.
And he's like, what? You're not? And then he just like leaves. He's like, sorry, I gotta go to school. And then we cut to him in school. And it turns out that the sword guy is now here. He's a new student. And he introduces himself as Miri Sugo. His hobbies are running and playing the piano. Denji is pissed that he is there. And now all the girls like him. And he's like, one more thing. I'm not here to make friends, so don't talk to me, you pieces of trash. And then cut to, he is immediately surrounded by all the girls. One of them who is giving him a massage. And Denji is pissed. He's like,
dude, the author of this series, he's a funny guy.
Yeah, he I've never seen a more twisted in anger person in my entire life than Denji being jealous of this dude. Meanwhile, they cut over to the roof, which I guess during lunchtime, and Denji is actively being a chair for his public safety retainer. He's like, what do you want from me, dude? Spit it out already. And the lady introduces herself as a public safety dog. He's like, you're with public safety? Are you serious? Well, whatever. I'm here as a Chainsaw Man Church messenger. And he says, the weapons walk with the Chainsaw Man Church. Join us, Denji. He's like, what? The weapons? And he's like, it's people like you who can turn into devils. You know? He said, most of the church's top brass are weapons. They're promising you a pretty high position if you join. And the public safety girl's like, wait. It's the Chainsaw Man Church. He's got to be the leader.
Very good point.
Yes, like, what are you talking about? A good position. And he's like, yeah, what she said. And Sword Guy is like, it's a pretty good offer. You only need to pitch in a little bit with jobs, and they give you whatever you want. And they let you do whatever you want. You could even turn down jobs sometimes. And you can spend the money as much as you want to. I go to the arcade and eat steak every day. And Denji's like, steak every day? Public safety girl is like, wouldn't you get tired of steak if you ate it every day? I'd go with sushi. I could never get rid of sushi. And Denji is like, well, I'd never get tired of Chinese food, even if I ate it for every meal. And Sword Guy is getting annoyed. He's like, the food's not the point. Where are you, kids?
Yeah,
actually, they are. They're literally in school. And he's like, I didn't take this job to chit-chat about infantile crap. And he's like, you should understand. And he talks about how he spent his entire life being used like a tool by worthless bastards. And he heard it was the same for you. And Denji is like, damn, he's right. And he's like, that says bingo, right? Am I right? And Denji goes, bingo. He's like, I'm not about to worship you, but I am grateful to you with every passing day. He said, in the Chainsaw Man Church, I am truly free. And he's like, I ought to use my brain and my body for myself, so join me in the Chainsaw Man Church. I'll protect you from public safety and that sushi woman.
That sushi woman.
And Denji doesn't say anything. But the sushi woman actually speaks up. It's like, you transferred schools to give Senpai a recruitment pitch? Wait, are you sure you're not being taken advantage of again? He's like, no, I'm not. I'm free and doing this of my own will. And Chainsaw Man, of all people, being a chair just doesn't sit right to me. And Denji is just like, butts feel good. Chairs are like content in their own way, you know? He's like, yeah, maybe I can't eat steak every day, but I do eat pot stickers and ice cream and other tasty foods. I'm happy with my normal life. And plus, normal life was my dream. I'm not joining the Chainsaw Man Church. And then Sword Guy walks away. He's like, forget it. Let's get one thing straight. I didn't transfer here to recruit you. I wanted to be your friend because you're the one who killed Makima and freed me. And as he walks through the door, he says, too bad. If you came with me, you could sleep with all the women you want. And Denji's face is like, oh! It's the this is the next 2 pages are some of the funniest things that have happened so far in this series. The door closes. The Sword Guy is going down the stairs, and Denji's already there.
Oh my god!
He said, "What the? Did you just teleport here?" He said, "I've given what you said a lot of thought." But
a lot.
He said, he said about whether I've been somebody's tool. I mean, you're damn right I was a tool. Chainsaw Man Church, sign me up. And that's where the chapter ends. Oh my god.
Wow, it's so easy to manipulate this guy.
Incredibly easy. Josh, what did you think about this chapter?
Denji is the thirst devil. He is the devil of thirst, the lord of
The Lord of?
I ran out of terms to use at this point. You know?
Yeah.
He's too fucking easy. And yet again, I have no clue where the series is going. You know what? I'm gonna say this. I was really excited to hear that not only is the sword guy, but a lot of those other weapon people are back and alive, which means that there's quite certainly another character that's back.
Reze?
Yep, the bomb lady. The prospect of that alone could make the series the best thing that was ever written and drawn on the planet. So I'm pretty hopeful for that. And yeah, I don't know. As far as comedy goes, this series unmatched.
Yeah.
Like One Punch Man, almost.
Was that all your
Yeah,
thoughts?
that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all my thoughts.
Brian, what did you think?
I laughed. It's not often that I audibly laugh while reading manga, but I that last page actually got me, bro. It was I honestly had a fucking audible laugh to that. That was so fucking funny to me.
Yeah,
Genji is such a fucking idiot.
so
When
much it hurts.
like it was his shocked fucking expression when the
Yeah.
door before the door closed and then him appearing outside of the fucking
Oh
inside the
man.
room. That shit got me fucking so bad.
I wonder if that's gonna matter, like in lore, like
You
that.
know,
Technically, he's moved that fast. Like if it was Death Battle, they'd probably use that as a feat.
so my theory is that this is the second Chainsaw Man. This is a second Denji. Remember,
There's no way.
because we still haven't figured out about the Chainsaw Man that killed what's her face.
I think they revealed Fake Sawman and who he is exactly. But
Did they?
well, if it did, it's not this guy because this guy is Sword Devil.
No, I'm talking about the second, like the Denji through the door. You, I thought I'm obviously memeing and shit, but it's really funny. It would be really funny if like the fake the fake Chainsaw Man was just Denji but cloned because his body had to like his heart had to make a new body.
Mhm.
So it's
Yeah.
just
Like he
Denji.
ripped his heart out and threw it
Yeah,
Oh,
he ripped
yeah.
his
door,
heart
and
out
then he
through it, and
reformed.
then yeah, he's just another Denji out there who's just mind linked with him. But man, It is so funny because not only that not only did he appear, but he just looks so fucking serious.
Right, that's his demeanor.
This is a
Yeah.
very typical shonen character who had like a flashback chapter and is now joining the team.
Yeah, he's realized the decision is now to do this.
He's so fucking stupid. But yeah, that's all I got. This
Yeah,
is
this series
fucking
is a treasure.
For real. I recently finished Haikyuu and I'm now moved on to Chainsaw Man again.
Uh-huh.
This is my second read through Chainsaw Man, and one of the funniest things. And I had watched the anime already. Like I watched the first season, but one of the funniest things that I forgot about this is that it really is familiar with the point where Power says that she would allow Denji to touch her boobs if she saved her cat. And how he was like in the very beginning, he was like, "Man, I don't get it with cats, but I guess I'd save it if it was a dog. But fucking cats, I wouldn't even waste my time." And then she posits that, and then he's like, "That bastard, he stole a cat.
Hmm.
I will get. We gotta get your cat back."
Yeah, the way he switches immediately on the spot.
Yeah, I love that. That hasn't really changed about Denji, even though he is trying to be different. There's little like instincts about him that will never change, and I thought it was really funny. I can't wait to see how Denji will definitely not get laid after this one. Like, I feel like
Inevitable.
these situations appear with him like a billion times where someone promises him like getting laid and then it just never works out for whatever reason. So I'm very excited to see how it fails this time. But yeah, I like that the escalation, also the thematic escalation of Denji. Like the first part of Chainsaw Man was all about him just doing what he had to do to just like achieve a regular life. And now he's realizing that like a regular life is like not enough for him, that maybe he has the capacity to dream for more. And now he's battling with like his own like gratitude in a sense where like, shouldn't I be happy to just be at this level considering where I was? And there's a lot like of turmoil within him because he feels like he shouldn't really want more, especially since like
Yeah.
him wanting more leads to the possible death or harm of people that he cares about. So yeah, it is interesting to see how this goes. And I don't know where he's going to end up. But really, like Chainsaw Man is a story about self-respect in a sense.
In a sense.
Yeah. About gaining respect for yourself and for the ability to want more for your life. But I don't know. I'm very interested to see where this goes. But I'm very much enjoying the ride here. I laugh at Chainsaw Man a lot just because the way he panels stuff and the way he writes his dialogue is just so real, in a sense. It feels, we've said it as feels cinematic before, but I read it like I'm like watching the anime already,
Mm-hmm.
It just feels like it's a moving thing. So
Yeah, cinematic comedy through manga.
yeah, defo. But that's all I gotta say about Chainsaw Man.
same.
Very good chapter though. I love Chainsaw Man. You know this all. We love Chainsaw Man here. So let's move on. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
We're getting this story out there. We need a plan.
Boruto.
Ove Boruto.
Did you forget?
No, I did. I actually read it this morning, but I didn't think we'd be covering it.
Yeah. Well, we are.
Oh, guess what's the first thing we see? Legs.
Legs.
Literally the first. Whoa, was that a drop?
What, legs? No, that was me saying.
Yeah. The way you said it sounded like a drop. That's fine.
No, yeah. I have a very droppable voice. But yeah, this is us. We do open this chapter with Sarada's 16-year-old legs. Not fun. But yeah, she appears in a new fit, mind you, outside of the Hokage office. We get a big 2-page spread with the title of the second part of Boruto being Boruto 2 Blue Vortex.
Edge.
Super fucking duper edge, bro. Let me get this guitar going.
I can't even begin to tell you guys how cool I would have thought this was. So at one point in my life.
Yeah. Yeah, we do get a little glimpse of Boruto in his super cool edge uniform.
Oh my god.
Brian, where would you rate this on the edge meter?
It's pretty high.
Right?
Even though he doesn't have black hair, he's not wearing a hoodie.
I think the
he is-
scar on his eye compensates for all that.
Yeah, the scar on his eye.
For sure.
The cloak actually surprisingly good alternative to the hoodie. So I'm honestly impressed.
He looks like a pirate.
Yeah, the
with a
studded
cape.
belt, the
Why does he
jewelry.
have that? Why does he have a swashbuckling shirt and
Because he's a
He looks like
ninja,
Ace.
Josh. This is what
he looks like
ninjas dress
Shanks,
like.
bro?
This is what ninjas dress like.
I
No,
think-
it's not.
Yes, it is. Shut up.
I think the fact that his shirt is also open and he has a pretty cool sword on his side. Yeah,
He literally looks like Shane.
He looks like he's
this
about
is-
to shoot an R&B video.
Yeah, this is getting like a 80% on the edgeometer here.
But what about the
Um,
way the cloak flows in a way that's very inconvenient?
Yeah, that's accounted for in the 80%.
Okay,
That's
that's fair.
accounted for.
Okay, fair enough. Anyway, now that we got the edgeometer stuff out of the way, Sarada in her coat that is permanently one shoulder comes off all the time. It's too big
Yeah,
for her.
that's annoying to me. I really,
It's like, fix your coat.
like, what's the point, man?
Yeah, I don't get it. It's not my favorite character design, to be honest.
She reminds me of Bayonetta with her new design.
Is that what they were going for? I
Huh?
feel like that's what they were going for.
Which I don't mind. I just wish that she had more clothes on, but
Yeah, characters that have like their one of their character designs is that their clothing is on them in a way that in no way possible it could stay like that. It'd be harder for it to stay that way than for them to actually just fix it.
I
Look.
feel like she would look so much cooler if she had the jacket completely on.
Or not a jacket and
Me
just
too.
like here's the thing, like, say what you will about this artist, I feel like he draws female clothing in a very inconvenient for battle way that is like almost distracting. Whereas, like, why would you wear this to combat? It doesn't fit you.
Distractingly inconvenient.
Yeah, it's gonna fly off of you. This coat is falling off you. You're not doing anything. It just bugs me. Anyway, Sarada arrives at the Hokage's office, where Shikamaru seems to be the 8th Hokage now, taking over for Naruto, who is now in the super cool cube dimension that Kawaki has access to.
Cute.
The cube dimension, where there's cubes everywhere. So, Sarada is explaining something to Shikamaru for, like, I guess the billionth time, because this is a 3-year time skip. So I can only imagine Sarada comes into his office every day to yell about how Boruto's
Every
not the
single
fucking
day.
bad guy. And Shikamaru's
Right,
like,
like she didn't wait.
right. Shikamaru's like, Sarada, we gave him many chances. He crossed the line first. Remember that he's a traitor who killed the Hokage and tried to kill his son Kawaki too. He cannot go unpunished. My little co-host Gingerbread is here.
Aw.
Yeah, she's great.
And he's like, and quite frankly, you're starting to annoy the shit out of him. He's starting to really acting like everybody else in the village aside from you is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You've got to see how you're the crazy.
Yeah, you're the crazy one. And she's like, and like I said before, your entire premise is wrong. Boruto would never kill Lord Seven. Give him a chance to tell his side of the things. And I guess that's
I like how the
Konoha.
person next to Shikamaru is like, kind of gives him the look of crazy.
Cuckoo.
He doesn't really look at him that way, but that's what happens in my head, Ken. Is
Yeah.
that actually Konohamaru?
That's what I was literally thinking. Is like, is that Konohamaru?
It is
Who
Konohamaru.
cares? It really doesn't matter at this point. It truly does not matter.
He says his name is Konohamaru. Like he says enough.
Oh,
Konohamaru.
yeah, I could. It looked like him. I was just like, I can't tell.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I guess that is Konohamaru. And
Does he have parents?
Konohamaru?
Yeah.
He's
I think
old
so.
enough to be a parent at this point. It's so weird.
No, but I
seeing
mean,
someone
like,
Well, he's
is he Senju or something?
yeah, he's
Remember?
he's no, he's not Senju, but he's Hiruzen's grandson.
Which means he should be Senju, right?
No,
The third Hokage wasn't Senju?
no,
No, I don't think so.
no. He's Sarutobi
Wow.
is his name. Because Azuma's last
Oh.
name is Sarutobi.
Now, third Hokage was a different beast, bro. He
was a different
man
guy.
in
He
his
was
own
taught
right.
by his teachers were the first and second Hokage,
Right.
but
who
they're
were
not
Senjus.
they're not related to him.
Ah, okay. I see.
Third Hokage was his own beast. He was like, oh my god, he was a different fucking animal.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Not cooler than
with the shit that he
Sarada's
could do.
jacket, though.
No, definitely not. He never wore anything as cool as Sarada's jacket.
Mm-mm.
But anyway,
Oh, speaking of cool guys,
yeah.
Uh-huh.
oh, you'll see.
Oh, okay. Anyway,
Oh,
so yeah, Shikamaru basically is like, listen, Sarada, stop being a loony woman, okay? There's plenty of people here who understand that Boruto is like basically a terrorist, so I can't lift the order of his execution, so I can't do anything. My hands are tied. This will be the last time we speak of this. Now go back to your mission. Sarada calls him a blockhead, and Konohamaru is like, no, stop it. That's the that's the 8th Hokage you're talking about. And he basically, and Shikamaru is just like, Sarada, I'm worried about you. At this rate, forget Hokage. You'll never be more than a genin. And Sarada's like, because my dad's a traitor too, just like Boruto. And it's like, no, this has nothing to do with Sasuke. I'm talking about your future as a Konoha shinobi. So, yeah. Sarada brings up the fact that Naruto back in the day went super duper hard to bring back Sasuke to the village, you know? So he still became a Hokage while still a genin. So my role model is Lord Seventh, not you. So that's that's kind of sad for Shikamaru, to be honest. I know he can't help it because he just straight up doesn't have the same memories as Sarada, but man.
yeah, to him, he's literally like, bro, he literally killed Naruto. What is your fucking problem?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I get
Just
that,
so-
but
he
it's
probably
still
just thinks she's crazy.
yeah, I get that, but it still makes me sad to see Shikamaru this way.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in the cube dimension where there is nothing but cubes, Naruto and Hinata seem to be chilling in stasis.
They're cubing it up.
They're cubing hard.
There's other things aside from cubes there.
There's cubes. And
Cubes and edge.
there's edgy cubes
There
for
are
sure.
edges on those cubes.
There's cubes.
Oh, yeah.
These cubes are edgy. So
And a very long belt.
Yeah, if
Much
you look
longer
at,
than necessary.
if you look at the corner on those cubes, that is pretty sharp.
yeah, these are edgy. Brian, how would you rate these
An
cubes
edgy
on the
world
edge
of cubes.
Why am I reading here?
the cubes themselves?
The cubes themselves, not very like. All right, despite them having literal edges on them, I don't think this is edge enough.
Hmm.
I'd give this like a actually they're dark. Okay, so that
Did
gives
you
them-
forget that Kawaki was also in this world?
Well, what if you
If
add
was
Kawaki?
also here? That would so it would if Kawaki was here. it would
Kawaki is
definitely-
there.
All right, without Kawaki here, I'd say this is like a 15% on the edgeometer.
Hmm.
But if Kawaki was here, I would, you know what? I would have to see him and see what he looks like to like really know how much to gauge it.
Well,
So-
you're
What
look,
if
Brian.
I
There's
told you his
literally a
belt
panel.
was way longer than you thought?
There's literally a panel where Kawaki is standing on top one of the cubes.
Oh shit. Okay, let me
Both his hands is in his pocket.
Of course.
He has a black mohawk that's longer now.
Yeah, he has a
Um,
belt
the-
that's unnecessarily long, as Josh said.
Oh, like it's
Is he wearing
miles
two
long.
belts? Oh
These
my
pants
God.
are baggy.
Is he?
Yeah, he has a belt around his hoodie and then a belt around his pants.
Oh, he does have a belt around his hoodie. Damn.
Oh God.
He
Okay.
said, "You
yeah.
know what? Actually, what was that
Okay.
guy's name again? With
His
the
collar
fucking-
is
with
up.
the belt."
Also, by the way,
And he's like, "Actually, that he looked cool.
his collar is up. By the way,
Yeah.
It's
that's-
popped, right? Of
It's
course.
popped,
No,
of
I mean
course.
he's
This is
Japanese.
a-
Japanese people can't help themselves.
Guys,
They
Alright,
must
so-
pop their collars.
guys,
So
Kawaki's
the
a bad boy.
mohawk,
Bad boys don't have their
Yeah.
collars down.
the mohawk, the studded belt, the baggy clothes, the face tattoo, the
Open
earring-
toe sandals too. Come
Yeah,
on, man.
open toe sandals, pierced earrings, like a studded earring
As he stares at his
And with a
comatose
stoic-
adopted parents, bro.
with a stoic expression, surrounded by cubes. Oh man, that's you know what?
Shoulder
Would I
shrugs.
give Boruto an 80% on the edgeometer?
Yeah, you gave Boruto an 80%.
All right, I'm gonna have to give this this is an 85% edgeometer.
That feels fair.
All right,
And-
can I make one more final appeal to you, Brian?
Okay,
One more final appeal.
Go ahead. Go
Okay.
ahead.
I want to add context to the situation.
Okay.
So, if you look at his stance, you know how cool boys sometimes will take that picture where
Uh-huh.
like they have like their hands in their pockets, but like their shoulders are kind of up, and they'll
Uh-huh.
put the emoji for the picture, like the shoulder shrugs,
Uh-huh.
just like he's doing that.
Yeah, that's accounted for. The thing is, like,
You
guys-
counted for that already? That he's
Yeah,
in,
here's
he's
the
in the
thing, guys.
pose, like.
You guys don't
All right, I'm
under-
just making sure.
All right, look, there's too much light, there's too much white space. That's not very edgy. Also,
Well, Brian, that's where you're wrong. Frank
not-
Miller established that negative space is very, very edge in his 80s comics.
Oh,
hey, who's
Have you ever
creating the
read Sin
criteria here,
City?
huh?
Have you ever read Sin City? Have you ever read The Dark Knight Rises? Or The Dark Knight Returns? Or
Listen, I'm the one who's making the rules here. Okay,
I'm just putting forth my appeal, okay?
listen. You guys are forgetting the importance of a hood when it comes to edge. A hood
Mm.
is a very, very strong addition to the edgeometer. Whether you could start wearing it and then take it off, that's fine. But as long
Right,
as
right.
you have it on your as long as you have done it, you have had the hoodie on you at some point. That would be a significant improvement to the edgeometer. But Kawaki does not have a hood on him.
So you're saying the pop collar does nothing?
The collar does something, definitely. That definitely does something, and that did bring him over the edge, I'd say, compared to Boruto. Boruto had a cloak, which of course, is just like an interesting little deviation from the hood.
Mhm.
But the collar pop, that's as edge as that's like a, how do you say, like a socially acceptable edge, It's like the thinking man.
I would never
thing.
let my
I
friends do
see.
that, but I feel you. I know what you. I guess I
I
get what
understand.
you're saying.
I understand.
Like
what
when
you
you
mean.
see somebody with a popped collar, you think that's edge, but that's plausible edge.
Yeah, it's
a
like
hoodie-
edge, but he thinks about stuff.
Exactly. You had to put an effort to put up your collar.
Okay.
But with a hood, you throw that shit on, and if a real edgelord will wear that hood no matter the circumstance,
I really feel what Brian's saying because immediately I think about like the original Naruto and how completely edge that whole team of characters became when they went out to look for Sasuke. It was with they brought the insect guy along, and they didn't do well.
Shino
But they
is
all
peak
thought they were
edge.
so fucking cool. Do you know what I'm talking about? It was in Shippuden.
Yeah, I remember. They all came out in their winter gear.
But more specifically,
Yeah, the winter
They
gear,
had the
that
cloak.
cloak they had was part of their winter gear. It's the Winter Edge collection.
The Winter Edge collection.
Yeah.
I think Shino is peak edge.
Well, we haven't seen Shino
like-
in a long time.
Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
I think Shino in Shippuden had a hoodie on.
He did.
upgraded from
He did.
high collar.
You're right.
Yeah.
He had a high collar
So-
and a hoodie.
Mhm.
Exactly. Wait, he had both?
Yeah, he had both.
Yeah.
Oh my
he did.
god, that
He
is
did.
incredible amounts of edge.
Mhm.
And he used a power that nobody wanted to like even be
Yeah.
associated with.
Yeah, this
Come on.
is a fun fact about me, guys. But when I first saw Shino's popped collar and hoodie combo, I actually got a paper cut when I was reading those pages.
Mhm.
That's how edge it was.
He's
See
definitely
me? I was
downgraded on
smart
his
enough,
edge.
and I wore gloves.
That was a good move, Josh.
He's definitely downgraded in his adult years with the edge, you know.
Well, you know,
He-
you grow up. You know, you grow out of this phase.
Yeah, he grew up out of he has like a pretty lame visor now. I'm not a fan of it, not very edgy at all. In fact, all
Everyone
of his
wants
edge
to be
is gone.
Gojo.
All of his edges basically gone.
Mm.
So Shippuden Shino is peak. Oh, and he had goggles. He had fucking goggles on.
He did.
He
have
had a
goggles
hoodie,
on.
a high fucking collar that blocked off his fucking mouth, and a goggles. Come
Okay.
on.
All
That's
right.
90. That's 95% on the fucking edgeometer.
Hey, we can't spend time reminiscing about the old days. Although we should make some time at some point during the podcast to do some edgeometer stuff. But we gotta continue on because this is a long chapter.
Okay.
Okay, so we then cut off to Science Lady, whose name I don't exactly remember, but she's hanging out with Sarada. And
I forgot her name too.
I forgot her name for sure.
Same.
She's talking with Sarada about the fact that they're not affected by Ada's whole thing, and they're like talking about this like as if this just happened yesterday, but this has happened 3 years ago.
Yeah. For the second time.
Yeah, this is like 3 years later. They're still talking about it like it happened 25 minutes ago. And they're breaking it down that, Ada's omnipotence made it so that in their eyes, we're the ones who are weird because we remember everything. But to them, Kawaki has always been Naruto's son. And Boruto is just a rebellious outsider and an ungrateful traitor. So early on,
Thanks for the recap.
yeah, but they do mention that sometimes people realize like some paradoxes in this new reality. Like, how could Kara have modified Kawaki's body if he'd been born and raised in the village? And what happened to Momoshiki? Even Master Shikamaru hounded Kawaki about that. But at some point, Ada's ability just kind of like faded all those doubts away. So, they don't really know what they're supposed to do now. Speaking of which, we cut over to Ada, who seems to have been sitting on the same couch with Daemon for 3 years. So, Daemon's like, you still ain't giving up? It's an unwinnable game, And she's like, yeah, I have no control over my omnipotence, just like my ability to charm. Although, I've started to understand how it works. And she's like, wait, any new information? Sarada asks her. And she's like, well, we know that omnipotence is a type of Otsutsuki Shinjutsu, what that makes one's desires real. And everyone's memories were changed. Everything they remembered about Boruto was rewritten, resulting in the two positions. God damn it, they're explaining it again.
Oh my god.
And she's like, is there any way to reverse it? And wouldn't you know it, Ada still doesn't know. Ada's still like, I don't know.
Nor
but-
does she really want to either.
Yeah, she's not like really trying to do anything about it either. So, And she's like, wait, well, think about it. Aren't you the ones whose memories weren't flawed? So who'd take you seriously? And she's like, to be brutally frank, I'd give up trying to return things to the way they were. It'd be more practical just to rewrite different memories. Though there's a risk in that too. And then she realizes, like, I still find it weird that you guys remember everything when you're not even Otsutsuki. So, both omnipotence and charm have no effects on Otsutsuki, and they don't work on family members like Daemon. But you two are neither. So how were you able to remember your memories? And now Sarada and Science Girl are just sweating because she's like, "Are you guys really my captives?" And they remember what Shikamaru said a long time ago about not letting on that they're not under Ada's spell. And Science Girl is like,
Out of fear of Damon destroying them, because he is peak.
He
Right.
is peak strong boy.
No matter how Brian feels.
Yeah. He's peak character, Brian. You need to understand that. He's wearing
such a fucking loser.
He's got a little bunny pajamas on.
Damon gonna kill your favorite character.
So Science Girl is just like, please, we've told you over and over again that we're just hiding our feelings from you. I mean, no one escapes being charmed. And it is like, true. Even though...
Sure.
Yeah, that's right. Even though you've escaped my arguably more powerful ability, I'll let it slide that you didn't escape this one. And Kawaki just pulls up.
That's true.
Wow, I actually did not think about that.
Even though you managed to bypass my strongest fucking ability,
My reality warping ability. But anyway, Kawaki arrives. I just noticed that he has like a gigantic back pocket. Preferably.
No.
Probably.
No, that doesn't change anything.
Probably for like a Death Note, like a model Death Note, like a.
Yeah, ooh, if he did have a Death Note, that would add like maybe 2%.
It's literally the size of a Marvel notebook. He has a small journal in it that he writes dark poetry.
Yeah.
You know what I will say though, this moment here is more edgy than the Dark World. I mean, than the Cube World.
Oh, yeah.
So I will.
Yeah, this is a weird moment for me.
I'll give this like an 87%.
Yeah, his popped up collar jacket is flowing in the wind.
Yeah, popped up collar, wind, hair. He's pondering.
Yeah, he's pondering, and Mitsuki's in the background here, just like fiending. He's thirsty. Kawaki's just like, cool your blood thirst, Mitsuki. It's truly suffocating. And he's like, I'm sure Boruto wants to kill you, and he's just like, and he's Otsutsuki just like you. It's possible that he's mastered the ability to erase his chakra signal. And Kawaki's like, if he comes here, I'll sense it right away. So, he can't, even if he eludes the sensory unit, he can't trick me. And Mitsuki is like, I want to protect you. I will kill him. I swear it. And Kawaki's like, all right, weirdo, stop following me. He's like, but Kawaki, you're... And then Kawaki gets a call on his intercom talking about how there's claw marks outside of the wall. And he flies away, leaving Mitsuki being like, you're the sun shining brightly upon my moon. Aren't you, Kawaki?
I don't get this.
I think it's like it harkens back to that one shot with Mitsuki. But I don't remember for sure.
Well, everything that he feels towards Kawaki is what he feels towards Boruto, really. So
yeah.
Either way, he's going a little too hard.
There's romantic feelings there, without a doubt.
Which is fine, but it's also, there's romantic feelings and there's just straight up obsession.
Yeah, it's being expressed in a really weird way.
Yeah, he's just like overbearing. He's like, he can literally fly, Mitsuki.
Yeah.
But anyway, we then cut over to Himawari, who is now a little older and doing some shinobi training with Chocho. It's a cool moment. She's training with the Inashika Cho trio. and yeah, I guess they're teaching her. It's a
Yeah,
cool,
it's pretty cool.
yeah, it's a cool, sweet moment. But yeah, they ask her, why do you want to get so strong? And she's like, it's not that I want to get strong. It's just like, I feel like everyone in Konoha will yell at me for saying this, but I kind of want to help Boruto. Shikadai's like, huh? And he's like, you don't really mean that, do you? And she explains that, like, it sounds wacky, but what everyone says about him is totally different from what I remember of him. You know, it's like, I don't think he killed my dad. And I saw with my own eyes that him risking his life to protect my dad and me. So such a person wouldn't kill my dad. There has to be some kind of explanation. And if that's the case, that is the case, Boruto's got to be in some deep trouble. And she says that she has this feeling that Naruto is still alive somewhere. Meanwhile, we cut back to Kawaki, and he does a cool dimension thing to one of the claw marks that was left outside of the village. So they're just like trying to figure out, is like, I don't get Code. Why come near so frequently but not attack? Especially since, like, I hear he has like several thousand soldiers. But as they're kind of like talking about it, Kawaki notices that one of the shinobi of the leaf has a claw mark on his neck. So he, I guess, dimension warps that one away too. And they're realizing that, like, he may have put claw marks on other people. So
Yeah, that's wild.
yeah. So he's just like trying to find them now. But meanwhile, in the village, a claw mark activates on the back of some person and just unveils one of Code's weird claw mark soldiers and bats away one of the people, starts causing chaos. The Konoha police force.
Looks like Frieza.
It does look like Frieza. The Konoha police force jumps into action, but to no avail. But Kawaki comes in the last minute and punches this guy in the face. And Sarada also joins the fray in beating up these code monsters. But as the battle continues, Code himself appears from one of the monsters, looking like a fucking vampire.
Yeah.
And yeah, Code is like, nice to finally meet you, Uchiha Sarada. And he explains that he's looking for Boruto, and Sarada says, like, he's not here. He left 3 years ago. And she's like, and Code is like, I know. I've been chasing him for almost 2 years now, and I'm tired. So, he said, I've decided to stop looking. That's why I came here. He thought that using his friends as bait would bring him here, basically. Attacking the village would attract Boruto to save it. So, he's like, I hope he could scream real pretty so it would reach him. And then all of a sudden, a foot comes down on his face, and it is Boruto who has arrived in his super cool cloak.
It is a pretty cool panel for me.
Cool.
I liked it.
It's a pretty sick panel, I'm not gonna lie. And Boruto says, like, it's that kind of sick thinking that creeps girls out. He dodges one of Kawaki's attacks, and then Kawaki, did I say Kawaki? One of Code's attacks. Kawaki senses Boruto's there, and so do the sensory unit ninjas. And yeah, Shikamaru orders all the fighters to prioritize confronting Code and his claw grimes, but keep an eye on Boruto's movements and try to figure out his plan. And the chapter ends with a big face-off between Code, Kawaki, and Boruto. And yeah, that was the first chapter of Boruto Blue Vortex. Josh, what did you think of this chapter?
It was nice for Boruto to be back. It has been so long. I'm not gonna say I forgot about it or nothing, but it's happy it's back. Well, it was a large chapter. It gave me a lot to think about, but I don't love a lot of the new designs. I don't know what it is. They just continue to. I just continue to not like the decisions that they're making. You know, like I think some looks are creative, but they're doing too much like Sarada, and then some just there's just nothing going on with them at all. Like the snake guy. Oh well, there's something going on with him, but it has nothing to do with his looks. Everything to do with him being the clone child of fucking Orochimaru. Poor kid. He's always going to be a weirdo. He can't help it. Um, I wonder if Himawara. That's the girl's name, right?
Himawari.
Himawari. Has it been confirmed that she has the Byakugan?
Yeah, she has the Byakugan, but not
Oh man,
but not the Jugon like Boruto. At least not yet. We don't know much about
what's
her
the
potential,
Jugon?
but I could imagine that she is just as powerful, if not more powerful than like potential to be more powerful than Boruto. Because it looks like
What's
she
the
inherited
Jugon?
the Jugon is like the enhanced Byakugan. It's
Did
the one that
Neji have it?
It's the one that Boruto has is in his right eye.
Is it through the Momoshiki or something like that?
No, it's not even something that Otsutsuki can really obtain. It's like something even rare.
And Boruto has it?
Yeah, Boruto has it.
No fucking way. I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's just I think it's just as rare as the Rinnegan.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you have wanted to finish your thought, but
Oh, me?
yeah. Oh yeah,
Uh,
you already. I guess you did explain
yeah,
about the eyes.
yeah.
Yeah, I did not know about that with Boruto, but I'll just take your fucking word for it. I actually did not think it was cool at all how he just appeared and landed on Code's face. Um, and I also think that line he dropped was super lame. Like, bro, what happened? You spent 3 years hanging out with mad bitches and you learned that? Get the fuck out of here. That was like, I don't know, the author or the translators was like, what's something that's gonna sound cool and mature to show Boruto's growth? Not that.
I mean, Boruto's always had sass.
He always has had it. I'm not saying that he hasn't, but I just didn't care for that line.
I think it was
And
cool.
then
I think the panel was cool.
his cloak was still covering his face in the next panel. How'd that make you feel?
Um, yeah, that was pretty cool.
Okay. Well, I don't really have that much more thoughts. I'm more interested to hear what y'all have to say about the chapter.
Well, I'm glad that Boruto's back. I missed this series a lot. Um, it was on a pretty impressive streak for me. Before I went on break.
I agree.
I was really impressed with everything that Boruto was doing, and I'm interested to see what they're gonna do with their next step here. This is aside from Sarada, she kind of looks cool if she had less, less legs showing and stuff like that. But
Less jacket.
no, I feel like the jacket's cool if she would just fucking pull the other shoulder up. But she has a cool design aside from that. Um, I'm just interested to see what they got planned. Also, I feel like Shikamaru feels like he's in the wrong a little bit here. Just by how he's the way he's kind of commanding people. He's like, "Yo, focus on the fucking on code and the guys, and just like try to figure out what Boruto is really about. You know, like I feel like Sarada got through to him a little bit, and he's kind of opening his eyes that maybe the situation with Boruto isn't as clear cut as he once thought. Um, so that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, if he uses his brain,
Yeah,
he
like
should be able to
Shikamaru.
put it together.
Um, but we'll see how this all pans out. I'm really interested to see where Sasuke is. I'm really interested to see like how Sakura has been holding up to all this. Um, Another thing I kind of realized is that Boruto and Himawari are both experiencing the same situations Naruto went through when he was growing up, except, you know, it's like Boruto lost has no family, no friends. And Himawari has no family. Like she doesn't have a brother. She doesn't have she has Kawaki, I guess, technically, because that's who she thinks is his brother, but she doesn't have parents. So like completely forgot that Himawari also fits in this equation when it comes to like the reversal of fate when it comes to Naruto and his children. Um so I'm really interested to see how much more she can bring to the table because um Himawari's, I don't know if it's been shown in the manga, but she has shown like actual potential to be a very powerful person. I just don't know how that's going to manifest in this show because Boruto is the one that has the Jugon, which is um a really really important and powerful um eye. So I'm curious to see how she kind of comes into her own in this. But aside from that, you know, they laid down the law. They laid down the law. Like they're setting shit up. We're gonna see how it's gonna pan out next month.
Mm.
But those are my thoughts.
Yeah, I wasn't super crazy about this chapter. I'll be honest. Um, there's just certain like writing things, I guess, that I wasn't like a fan of necessarily. I feel like the stuff with Ada and the science girl and Sarada, like it. I guess like the whole point of this time skip is it doesn't feel like super necessary. You know what I mean? Like all
Mm-hmm.
this stuff that happens in this chapter could have happened like a week or 2 weeks after like the time skip that was supposed to happen. Nothing super changed in that time that would really warrant this huge of a leap. But I'm willing to like kind of reserve judgment on that really until like the next chapter to where we see like the actual effects. But there's certain things like the stuff with Ada not really figuring out that these guys aren't really under her spell for this long, despite them not being under her like stronger spell, is a little weird. Um. So yeah, it's stuff like
Yeah,
that just kind of like bugs me a little bit. Um. But I am willing to reserve judgment a little bit until a couple chapters into this time skip stuff to see if there's any like substantial changes from the time skip. But it doesn't really feel all that necessary in the grand scheme of things. Like, why did it have to move 3 years later? Outside of like, I guess
make
Boruto.
everyone look edge.
I guess like outside of like Boruto being a little stronger and like giving a good amount of plausible space for him to come back with a higher mastery of his karma or whatever. But yeah, I would have just rather have followed Boruto throughout this journey, in a sense, in his like banishment journey. But we'll have to see. I don't know. It just doesn't gel with me quite yet. But outside of that, I didn't hate it or anything. There was just like little moments where I'm like, meh.
Mhm.
But Outside of that, it was okay. I wasn't wild about it, but maybe it'll take some time to settle in for me.
Yeah, I want to see how this fight resolves. I'll give it a couple of chapters. You know, Boruto needed time to heat up.
Yeah.
So I'll give this new start a little bit of time too.
Yeah. But that's all I got to say about Boruto. You guys ready to move on? Any rebuttals before we go?
No.
I'm ready.
Then let's go. Black Clover.
Oh, thank God.
This is Black
Boy,
Clover.
if you would have said Dragon Ball Super, I would have said peace out.
This is Black Clover. I know this is getting a little long in the tooth, to be honest. So this is Black Clover, chapter 368, just getting started. Last we left off, Asta has returned to the battle and has defeated Damnatio and has dispersed his anti-magic abilities amongst the Black Bulls, reviving those that have fallen, and have given everybody super cool new anti-magic designs.
Super cool ×5.
Super cool.
Yeah, just like that.
Mm-hmm. So now we open up with Yami going up against Morgan, who is a paladin now, and he seems to have the properties of dark and light magic, and you know, he's giving Yami a little bit of a run for his money using both of these abilities, and he manages to cut Yami pretty severely. And Morgan's like, "Sorry, Yami, I'm on my own already. On my own, I'm already the strongest magic knight." The Lucius clones are going around just beating the shit out of Yuno. They're ganging up on him pretty bad. One of the Golden Dawn dudes is like, he really can't fight two at once. This is bad. If Yuno falls, then Neverland will come undone, and we'll lose to Lucius's time magic. So it's not looking good for everybody. But just as Lucius is about to put an end to this world, guess who shows up? But the fucking
Them boys.
the Black Bulls. They pull up, super cool looking in their cool new designs. They save Yami, and Asta pulls up to Lucius immediately, pushing him away and saving Yuno. And he looks over to Yuno. He's like, what was that? Were you losing or something, Yuno? And you already know what time it is, boys. Yuno looks at Asta and he says, in your dreams, I'm the one. And simultaneously, at the same exact time, they say these exact same words. They say, who's going to take that guy out and become the Wizard King. And that's where the chapter ends. We do get a little bit of a note from Black Clover's author, Tabata. He is leaving Jump after this chapter. Yeah, L, and he's moving to Jump Giga, where he will be working on a 3-month schedule. So
Giga L.
So the next time we'll see Black Clover is in December, actually. So that's sad.
A monumental loss for New Jump City.
Oh yeah, a mainstay, to be honest. Since we started, we were talking about Black Clover. So since 2019, basically. So it's weird to see one go. You know, we already had to deal with this with World Trigger back in the day, but another series is moving on to a different magazine. And Brian, you said something that Chainsaw Man is also going to Jump Giga.
I don't know if it's going to Jump Giga, but I can't find anything that confirms that it got transferred somewhere, so we can hold off on that for now.
Thank
But
God.
I did hear that it was moving to a magazine, but I'm not sure.
Because it already moved.
Series?
It already moved once.
Maybe it'll stay in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really sad about that. It sucks.
Yeah,
I'm gonna miss Black Clover week to week. We took it for granted.
for real. And we talked about it, and we may be putting up a poll pretty soon for you guys to choose a series to potentially replace Black Clover on
A
our
weekly
weekly
series,
yeah.
not Jujutsu Kaisen. Unfortunately, I mean not Kaiju number 8. Unfortunately,
I mean, it's a possibility, I guess, but you know, something to fill the
Brian
void.
lied to us. It's not weekly. He was being desperate.
Huh? What are you talking about?
He was being desperate. But yeah, more on that later. Just subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's where we'll likely be putting up a poll for you guys to help us out in determining a series that could possibly replace Black Clover. Not that Black Clover is replaceable at all. It is sad that we're not going to have it on a regular basis, but hey, we just want to give you guys as much content as we can. So yeah, with that being said, I guess we could get into this chapter's thoughts overall. Josh, what did you think about Black Clover chapter 368?
Man, Yami got fucked up.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna have a good fight and beat his friend and show him how much he's grown. But no, he said, "Let me show you a little something that Master fucking Light and Time Mage gave me." And he pulled out the dark element. I thought he was gonna combine the light and the dark and make like a gray, like a twilight thing.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't need to, bro.
Not
He
even.
didn't need to. And he showed Yami the difference in their power. And it's crazy because I guess that was the only dude that ever really could check Yami. Not even in a tough way, so, like just like as a friend because of the respect he has. So, I guess there's also vengeance, but you know, that nigga was the op. So, it's kind of crazy seeing. I mean, the last time we seen Yami in a tough situation, he lost and got snatched up by that gravity devil. Shit was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Brian, you have any thoughts on the chapter?
Not very many. It was really cool to see the Black Bulls kind of fucking come in to save the day. I'm sure Yami's gonna have his get back once Asta gives in some of that anti magic coding or whatever.
Oh, please, yes.
And then Yami's back on the protagonist board. Um but I just wonder how much more Asta can kind of spread out. Like his influence. I don't know if he can just apply that to all of the Clover Kingdom, but
Dude, he could apply it to Yuno, and then Yuno could apply it to his field spell magic card.
yeah, him giving that to Yuno would be fucking way too strong. But also, I don't think Yuno really needs it because Yuno was doing his shit like
It's so that
without
he
it.
could pass the anti magic to everybody else with
Oh,
the Neverland. That's what I meant by his field spell.
oh, that makes sense. You know
It was
what?
a
That
Yu-Gi-Oh reference, bro.
that would work. That would work. Um, but yeah, I'm excited to see the black how Yuno and Asta kind of work together to kind of turn the tides a little bit more. This is gonna be sick. But yeah, those are
Yeah,
my thoughts.
Lucius is gonna swear that he's in charge and that he's in control, and he's gonna find out in another 3 months that he is not in control at all, and
Yeah,
that Asta is now the captain of that ship
yeah.
and
Once Asta
arc.
showed up, everything got flipped on its head. Chris, what are your thoughts?
Ooh, yeah. I thought this was a very fun chapter. It's man, even had the patented both Yuno and Asta yelling at the same time about being the Wizard King.
Classic.
Classic. Can't deny. Uh, so very excited to see what happens next after that. I'm wondering if they're just gonna do individual battles from here on out, which is gonna be crazy on a 3-month schedule. Um, but I feel like the reason Tabata moved is that he does want to have these like he doesn't want to like rush the series out because he's overworked. So, having a looser schedule will allow him to draw at a more reasonable pace and tell the story the way he wants to tell it. So I think there's just going to be individual battles between the Paladins and the Black Bulls, and as well as like obviously the final battle between Lucius Asta and Yuno. So there's a lot of exciting times coming for Black Clover. The bar is very high. Very excited to see it come back, and the show's not going to be the same without Black Clover, to be honest. But
It's really not.
yeah,
It sucks.
yeah. But overall, very excited for what's coming next. I don't have a lot of thoughts. The action was so fucking cool, and the Black Bulls coming up on the scene as per usual is pretty fucking awesome. I love this last 2-page spread. I think it was just so well drawn, and they look so cool. And Asta do. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought so too.
yeah, those are all my thoughts. You guys ready to move on to our final series?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Alrighty, let's get gooey.
Luffy!
Undead Unluck.
The Luffy one is low key my favorite now.
I'll just play it for you. Just
Yeah.
all right. Well, Josh, I'm gonna throw it to you. Undead Unluck.
Undead Unluck, chapter number 171. So I Will by Yoshifuma Tezuka. We are nearing, I don't know, maybe nearing the end of the slice of life. Undead Unluck go to Undead Unluck no school. X family. I'm gonna stop. So last time we read Undead Unluck, Chikara finally unlocked his negator ability by almost killing his parents, which thankfully Fuko was there to use her Kung Fu abilities to stop a fully loaded Mack truck from hitting into them. I guess Gina helped too. But yeah. Surprisingly, Fuko is not injured from like what happened that night. So they're still functioning as normal people within the school. They also established that they're gonna help Chikara finish out high school. So I'm just gonna preface this chapter beforehand. There's a lot of text stuff. I'm gonna kind of just get through it, but this is a very wholesome chapter. Just to say. So Chikara's taking pictures of everybody, and first of all, Sean, I guess, closes his eyes, so he's not in one of the pictures. But they keep noticing how the quality of all the pictures are kind of shitty, and it's because Chikara has to constantly, stay in motion as to not make other people, stand still. Which Sean claims, hey, like, isn't that like awesome? That means you could always pick like the perfect shot, making them stand still. To which I think Fuko is the one that says, oh, Gina, I'm sorry. Gina just says that, he doesn't, it's not, that he doesn't want to have to rely on his negator ability. He wants to catch perfect candid moments with his camera. I thought that made a lot of sense, so boom, Nico pulls up and he's like, look, let me hook up your camera so you don't gotta worry about, shaking like you got Parkinson's or whatever. Apparently this is so he's able to take pictures with the camera and they look perfect. And apparently this is technology that they have in cameras now. So I don't know, do our cell phones do that? Do they have anti-shake technology?
Do cameras
That'd
have
be
it?
cool.
They do.
Yeah, right?
They do have an
pretty lit.
anti-shake
I
technology.
know that. I didn't know. Yeah, okay. Well, so Chikara's just like, yo, why you guys doing all of this for me? Like, to be honest, I don't really have anything to offer y'all. you know, and I feel bad. And Fuko says, like, look, you've done a lot for us in the past. You really don't even know. You don't understand how. But, this is, you don't have to worry about that. But someone goes on to explain later on that basically, like, Fuko, she never really had the chance to live through high school. I think she talks about that herself. So that, this was also a great a great experience for her as well. So it's just sweet. So they take a picture before they're all about to head home, and they talk about how they'll see each other at the graduation ceremony. Cool. So Chikara has a talk with his parents, and he was thinking about how he could, how he should be able to do something nice for Fuko and the rest of them. And the parents go ahead and say, "Hey, we offer to repay Fuko for saving our lives and helping you out." And they said it was cool that you could repay us by continuing to live happily. That would be the greatest motivation you could offer us. That's what they said. And like, it's so cheesy, but it's fucking true. Like, a lot of these these are thoughts I should say for the end of the chapter, but I'm just gonna say them now. Um, the like, normally that would just be a nice thing to say, but it holds a lot of weight because of the context of the previous loop. You know what I'm saying? A lot of work has been established with these characters to try to go back and like correct it. So that these moments are a lot more meaningful to me because they mean that shit from the bottom of their heart.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, bro, you literally sacrificed your life for this shit already. So the fact that you can live peacefully just will motivate all of us.
Yeah.
Real shit. Fuko standing watch over him in the night like a ninja. Creepy. She's problematic.
Like a shinobi.
Yeah, but the worst kind. So Chikara comes to graduation and he realizes nobody's there, but that none of the gang is there from Fuko. But then what's worse is that he asks his homeboy, like, yo, like, have you seen Mrs. Zumo? And he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? So Chikara knew, like, they told him that, hey, like, after the graduation ceremony, no one's gonna remember who we are and what happened in order, so that we could just keep doing what we need to do and not, affect their lives and shit.
Mm-hmm.
When we just up and disappear. So it's really sad because Chikara thinks for a moment like, oh shit, did they do it already? And then he's like, nah, actually something's got to be wrong because they she was really looking forward to seeing us. So then we cut to Fuko in the school with the rest of the Negators fighting against the Uma known as Kalor. Yeah, what? Why?
It's the
We're
UK
not
spelling.
we're not in the UK. Someone made a mistake.
Someone
It's
made
not
an
how you
error.
fucking spell color.
Say it in American.
Hello. Yeah, say it American. Or say it in Japanese. That would have been cool. Boku no wa yo kolo. Alright, that was bad. Anyway. Alright. So they're just like, God damn it, why did this fucking Uma have to pull up and make things worse? Yeah, color the Uma of pigment. All right, you got. So I have a theory about this, but I'm gonna save that for the end. So the crazy thing is, Fang pulls up and he's like, "Fuko, I can kill this thing, right?" And she's like, "Yeah, go ahead, please." And then when he goes to strike it, turns into one of the students, and then it stops him from punching. And he gets so mad. He says, "Why wasn't I able to punch it?" Like, bro, because you didn't want to kill a child. Okay, Fang.
Usually I wouldn't mind murdering a child, but what's happening to me?
There would be no harm in that. It would not be an obstacle. He's soft now. He's fucking soft.
Yeah, he's not the same.
Yeah, so in the previous loop, Chikara was the first negator that she invited to the team. I forgot about that. Unmoved caused him to abandon his dreams and lose his family, so he said goodbye to his friends that came through for us. Back then, the chance to show him alternate path came far too late. But the Chikara of today has a family and dreams. It's up to us to protect the blue sky.
Blue skies.
Oh shit, she's gonna pancake him. Most importantly, anyone who tries to ruin my friend's blue skies will pay the price no matter what. She launches a kick through color that doesn't really do much damage to it. As it says, blue skies, then allow me to make those blue skies red. There's some real cheesy lines at the end that I'm just not gonna repeat. But that's the end of the chapter. So, Chris, what you think?
I thought it was cute. I think like the
It was
sentiments here are like
mega
really nice.
wholesome.
Yeah, it's just super wholesome and kind of cool that this is happening in the middle of an active school hallway.
Yeah.
I'm still, I guess I'm kind of confused as to like the memory stuff. Do they like finagle with their memories again so that they could fight this thing?
I guess so. I mean, that was always the point. Like because it was gonna be weird if all the teachers was missing all of a sudden and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, that's my rationale with that anyway. So yeah, they probably just figured, fuck it. Like we ran into this Uma, we might as well just, change the memories now.
Yeah, I like the design of this UMA a lot.
Yeah, it's really fucking cool, right? It actually does look pretty intimidating in a way. And I have it, like I said, I have a theory about this Uma.
Yeah. Well, I did enjoy this chapter a lot. I thought it was like really wholesome and sweet, and I'm wondering how Chikara will play into all this because he's not just gonna go through his graduation like regular. He's gonna collide with them at some point.
For sure.
But yeah, I'm interested to see how that goes. What did you think about this chapter, Josh?
I really liked it. As corny and cheesy as it was at times, I still really enjoyed it. It's actually my third favorite chapter of the week. But so all right, here's what I think. This is the Uma of color, right? Which means if they was to destroy this Uma, then there would be no more color.
I guess
Is
so.
that how that works?
I guess so.
Right?
Yeah. If you kill an Uma, then they.
So they need to capture this. Because if they don't, then the world will lose color. And I guess if they end up killing it instead of catching it, I don't know. I wonder. Basically, my theory was that them destroying this Uma is going to negatively impact Chikara being a photographer, and he's going to say, "Well, since this, I don't want to just take black and white photos. I'm just going to be a negator with you guys." But then now that I said that shit out loud, it doesn't really track to me. I mean, he can still take black and white photos, and I guess the world just wouldn't know that color doesn't exist anymore. I forget how these things happen actually.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do some research for next week. But yeah, I think Chikara is gonna find them, help them beat the Uma, and he's gonna be like, "Fuck photography. I want to fight Umas and be important."
I'm gonna do a super cool superpower adventure.
You're right. Defuko, how could you? How could you have robbed me of this opportunity?
Yeah.
I don't care what happened in the past. I'll die again. Fine.
It's okay.
I want to be lit. I want to be like Future.
Oh yeah. Well, were those all your thoughts?
That was pretty much the core of my thoughts.
All right, then let's bring this bad boy home. That has been our show. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, guys. This is a long one. This is 2.5 hours.
Oh, it's 11:11.
Yeah, but make a wish, dog. But in any case, we were off last week, so we decided to give you a little extra something this week. So I hope you guys enjoyed
with
it.
a little bit of a pregame show.
Yeah, with our flashbacks episode show. I guess that's what we're calling it now.
Okay.
I guess, I don't know. I kind of like pre-show chat show. But in any case, thank you guys so much for listening. As per usual, you could find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter. Oh, on X and Instagram. Brian is at b.esp on both X and Instagram as well. You can catch him when he's streaming on twitch.tv/itspunchline. Josh is at jdcole_37 on Instagram, at New Jump City Josh on X. You could email the show itself at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk about, and we'll answer all that stuff on our show, on our pre-show chat show thing that we do, whatever it's called, whatever it's going to end up being called, that we do, that comes out every Wednesday. If you also want to communicate with us, you can hit us up on our comment section in our YouTube page. I know we don't really have video capability quite yet. I'm still working off a borrowed computer, but yeah, hit us up on those comments. We love to hear from you guys. And subscribe to us while you're at it. Give us a like, give us a share. Keep up with our really good chapter of the week poll that I post on our YouTube page every week, as well as the upcoming Black Clover replacement series poll that is coming within a week or two. So yeah. Oh, also download us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for listening. Next week should be a much simpler show. And we'll see you then. Stay safe, New Jump citizens.
Peace out, y'all.